Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 705 Earl Court here in Newburgh. I describe everything as if you're in the street facing the front of the home. Cleanout is straight out from the front doorway. You can't miss the thing, it's set in the concrete. It's a little 3-inch ABS cleanout. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's currently running. We're going to zero out here at the base of the cleanout, and off we go. And right out of the gate here, that is a superbly clean flow line. That is exactly how you want your sewer line to look right there. That's a sign that the homeowners are taking great care in not putting or dumping all their cooking oil and bacon grease and all that fun stuff down the sink. But we just transitioned there to 3034 PVC pipe, 4-inch diameter. There was a teeny little bit of standing water just before the transition. It's so minor, I honestly hardly even like talking about those things and legitimizing them by calling them a belly. From a hyper-technical standpoint, it's that little standing water has essentially zero bearing on flow. In fact, about the only thing you would see consistently hanging up in standing water that minor is cooking oil and grease. If you're putting a fair amount of it down the line, grease will build up anywhere, but it especially likes to do so anywhere there's any amount of standing water. Whether it's a 1/16 of an inch or 3 inches of water. The fats rapidly cool down, they float to the top of the water and start sticking to the sidewalls. Anywho, there's the main lateral at 47 feet. We're going to go locate that real quick here just to verify where the line terminates. We'll let the whole line drain out, and we'll take a second look at everything. So far, very nice looking sewer line, and superbly clean to boot. You rarely get all those things. Alrighty, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out on Earl Court. And by the time the line hits the main lateral, where I do that locate, lines up very nicely with where the cleanout is. It's doing a pretty straight shot. The line makes its way out to the street through the front yard, it looks like. Which is ideal if you ever have to do any kind of fixing to the sewer line. Especially out here, generally speaking in Newburgh, the line does, or the city takes responsibility. I believe it's from the right-of-way out. If not, it's from the street edge out, but then all you're having to mess with is, for the most part anyway, is pipe under dirt. You do have some concrete over top of the first bit of the line here, but anyway, hopefully that's nothing you have to even be worried about for a very, very long time, but should it ever arise. I was going to mention this thing on my way back in here. So if you look at the top of the pipe there's a little ding in the top of the sewer line, a dent. In fact, what this likely is, I can just about guarantee this is sitting about where the right-of-way area is. What often happens when they go to bore utilities in and drill them in, they're going off of depths from the records from the city. If they get those depths just off by a little bit, what that likely is there is a piece of conduit sitting over top the sewer line for fiber, cable, something of that nature. The plastic is totally intact there. That's not affecting functionality in any way. If the plastic were cracked or even open to the ground at all, it would be very obvious, especially in a line this clean. You would have dirt streaks going down the sidewall of the pipe where you could tell groundwater had seeped through. Anyway, all notated on the report. That is not something I would recommend repairs on. It's on the top of the line where it can't even obstruct flow, and the plastic is intact. And 3034 green PVC I have seen deform to incredible extents without breaking. I mean, like 2-inch deformations, like you tried to stick your thumb through the pipe, like stuff that sharp and without breaking. So anyway, all the PVC that looks great, drains beautifully, very clean. I will also notate this on the report, mostly in case you get some rookie with a sewer camera when you go to sell the home, trying to recommend repairs on things they don't understand. This belly is teeny, teeny, tiny. This thing runs from about 7 feet to 9 feet. And at its worst point, when you get the camera head leveled off, I'm not even sure you got a 1/4 inch of water there. It's somewhere between a 1/16 and a 1/4. And the tie-in there at the top of the line, that is, well, it's kind of on the right side of the screen right now. It's a test T connection. Every sewer line has it. It's where they do a test bladder in the line when the line is first permitted and passed off. Very similar to a clean out. Everything from the clean out access to the main lateral is in good condition, super clean, has great flow, and is functioning properly at this time. We're now going backwards. And we are now inside the crawl space area. So what that stuff is there at the top of the pipe, and this is not in need of cleaning, what you're seeing hanging down there is paper thin. That is the remnants of a past blockage. So at some point in the past, a blockage occurred. And based on how good the sewer line looks, happened for no other reason other than someone flushed way too much stuff down the toilet. That allows the line to fill up. It'll leave some deposits on the top of the sewer line. And that is that. But that's not something you need to be worried about cleaning. It's literally, it's probably thinner than a piece of paper. It's extremely thin. Sometimes I recommend that stuff get cleaned out if a really nasty backup had just happened and you've got inch-thick grease and debris buildup, stuff like that. But that has no bearing on functionality whatsoever there. If anything does run into it, it's just going to peel it off the top of the pipe there. Anyway, good looking sewer line. Great flow end to end. We went to the very back end most part of the line there. Great looking line. It is functioning properly at this time. Anyway, keep the cooking oil, grease, fats, and whatnot out of your line, and you can keep it looking clean just like that indefinitely. It also really helps to prevent blockages from occurring. For instance, like what you saw there, that's just from someone flushing way too much stuff down the toilet, likely a kid flushing balled up toilet paper. Keeping grease buildup out of the line helps to prevent balled up toilet paper blockages from resulting in something like a backup. They often can break loose naturally under just head pressure building up behind them. But when you start making the line sticky with grease, those same blockages can withstand significantly more water building up behind them and are more likely to turn into an unnecessary sewer event. So that's my PSA for the day on grease. Wipe your pans out with a paper towel once the pan cools down, scrape it off into a garbage can, pour it into a jar. You just don't want it going down the line. A thin little coating of PAM spray is no big deal. Hot water and soap handles that fine. And when you have any amount of grease going down the line you're aware of, make sure you're washing your dishes with hot water and soap, and keep the hot water running for about a full minute longer than your last dish was washed. That helps to ensure that everything that went down line remains melted and emulsified until it gets out to the main.